G'day everyone and welcome to this ultra long Bluey presentation. You're not going to get much change out of an hour for this, it's a long video. In this one we stay up all night, do wiring, we pull lots of stuff off the car and put it back and clean stuff up, and we win some and we lose some, but we're not finished yet. So I hope you enjoy. Well, I can't talk too loud because it's 2:45 in the morning. But I fell asleep on the couch, so I figured it was a good time to do some wiring. What we're doing is tracing on the Triple S where each wire goes for the head-up display, and soldering in on this one here, the wires into the loom. So we've still got a few to go, but we've got a good few of them in now. And it's all testing well. So, I've got wire stuck to my foot. Hang on. Look at the time, 3:30 in the morning in the top left-hand corner. And we're still going. Oh no, okay. One of them goes down to the rear, or to the glove box, and I don't want that. But there's a junction here, where they all go, that one there. And one of them goes, which one is it? It's not those two. There's a third one. Oh, one goes down there. Yeah, it does, it goes in there. Ah, there it is. Got it. So that's on plug number one. Where's my plug number one? Is this mine down here? Well, you know, it's quite slow though. 10 to 4. Every now and then I do all-nighters with the kids and we stay and watch movies. Used to go to Hungry Jack's and get a burger or something at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's good fun. Now, what have we got next? Right, and I'll check this. Yes, where's the other one? Here. Yep. And the one next to it. I reckon that's an earth too. Yep. So we're going to do little earths. Where are they? Well, it's 20 to 6 in the morning. And I've got this done. The only one that's left is the airbag light, which is that one. And we don't need him. So, I'll terminate that. And I'll tidy it up and run a set of tests after I've had a sleep, because I've been to bed. I wouldn't plug it in at the moment, but I've double checked it and it looks to be pretty good. Well, I went to bed at 6:30, got up at 10:30. I don't have to whisper now, it's 20 past 1. This is the radio CD player wiring from the TI. The radio fitter that fitted the aftermarket did a really, really good job. Great soldering. He left the connectors there. The only one he didn't leave was this guy, and that's the power for the CD. But I don't know where he's taken it from, so I've got to figure that out. And the other thing that's odd about it, I managed to pick up a few connectors. When I got the car and went to the wrecker, I just did a massive bulk buy of bits and pieces, including a loom, and there was another car there with another loom that had been cut up, so I managed to salvage connectors from it. Because I thought I'd be having, I sort of preempted this, and it kind of worked out well. The only thing I bought that I don't think I need is a radiator. and that was, I don't know, $50 or something. But yeah, his bed, he's used proper electrical crimp, as you can see, where the insulation's been gathered back. Yogurt and wiring. I love it. What I'm doing now is differences between the printed circuit boards between the TI and the Triple S, and I'm cross-referencing plugs. So some of the wiring is in different spots. I have to disassemble the plug. These are pigs to disassemble, but you can get them out and re-pin them. Most of them are pretty good. The one that's throwing me is this yellow one. The Triple S has had a yellow one. The TI has a black one. I don't know if I mentioned it before. There's an earth and there's a one that goes to the ABS plug. These are ABS ones. That's probably why that's yellow. The ABS plug's the only place that goes to the ABS plug. There's no continuity, as I said before, but they're just earth, so I'm not actually going to bother putting that in. There's these two here, which I'll cross-reference as well. I think they're alright. That one hasn't got a label on it, so I've done that one. So I'm just going to make sure everything's kosher. I haven't. This is the Triple S loom that I got that I hadn't stripped apart. But this one I'm not going to wrap. I'll just sort of leave it so it's supported. Whereas the TI one I'll wrap and we'll put it back in the car today, hopefully. Right, well, we got the heater fan back in, the loom's back in on that side. Fits in beautifully. Of course, it was the car that it came from, I guess. And we've just got to thread it around on this side. Lots and lots of stuff to do, but it's not too bad. The heater fan was horrendous. It's designed to come out after the air conditioning box, and there was no way I was taking that out, just because as I said before, the air conditioner is so good. So it looks like there's a lot, and I said there's a lot, but it's really not bad. It's a nice job. This is really a nice job, and the design, Japanese stuff, is designed so well. You know, so we'll keep going. We'll put the rest in. The earth points are down there. It's all done under the engine bay. And all those looms there are side looms and the door looms. Everything's all plugged in. I'll get a tripod for the passenger side and we'll start on this side. Right, so we know this goes this side of the column. I did lose this one. And I do also view it as important that we put these sort of wire restraints back on because, well, Nissan did, and it'll hold it back where it needs to be. Oh boy. Tell you what, that night I stayed up. I had a really good sleep last night. Went to bed at 10:30, and now I feel like $1 million. So I'm just going to wrap this around here. And this is proper auto electrician's tape. It's thin and strong, but it doesn't leave a sticky residue. It's good stuff. This is where there's a main junction. So this was under a lot of duress when I took it off, and it came out of the tape. And this was, as it stands, where I needed to split to join some of the cables for the display. So we can just sort of plop all that back, and that will sit where it's meant to be, which is here. And of course you've got your two plastic nuts that hold this box. I think that goes down behind there though. And we can pop that back up there. And I'll locate those nuts in a moment, but it might actually be a good time to put the crash bar back in now. These wires, I think a lot of these plug into the crash bar. So I might go and get that. I don't know if I think they go underneath it. I think. These look like oh no, that goes there. That goes there. And you can see like the little fasteners clip in where they once were. But a lot of it does seem to go into the crash bar. That's our speaker. And I've got to slide it back onto that thing. I'll do it in a minute. It might be beneficial to put that bar in now, although I think it might also be easier to get to these multi-sockets. I might do that first actually. There's two large multi-sockets, and there's also the loom for the automatic control module, so I think we might have a look at that. Cut any trim or cause any damage. I've sort of got my hand over the end of it. Oh. And I need to sort of, actually it can go in from either side. I thought it only went in from one side. I might just do it from the other side because I thought there was a stud there that it went over and there's not. On occasions you have to mount them in a certain order because they'll fit over a stud. Those two, for example. These ones here, oh, there is a stud there, it's here. I'll just take that off and put it over here, and then rest it over those two, and that's how it fits. And there's a wiring loom in the way. Hang on a minute. Let me have a look here. It has to go over like that. I'm just going to pop a screw in there, and a bolt in there I should say, and that will secure it for a minute. But this all sort of comes back and squeezes against there. The wiring loom sort of fits underneath it. But this means I can sort of bolt it up here and thread the looms around and clip them on. There's little holes everywhere where stuff goes. That's one of the earths that I've just put on. Fuse box goes here. This is where we really start putting it together, and of course what we'll do is mount the column, plug everything in, and then we'll do a bare run, if you know what I mean. So I'll put a speedometer here and a climate control there and all this sort of stuff, and start the engine and make sure everything's still running. Alright, so the crash bar's in, nice and tight. I haven't done these two bolts here yet, just because I forgot about them. I've got to hang the column back, but it's all sort of twisted around. Where's the key go in here? And try and get this back where it's meant to be. And we're just sort of hanging it temporarily. It's all sort of disoriented, it's not in the place it's meant to be. And it's a bit of a struggle, to be honest. It's there we go. I've just got to start a couple of nuts up here. Hang on a minute. It's actually quite heavy. And oh, hang on, I'm still wrong. That's it. And the casing separated down there, the plastic casing around the lower part of the column. But that's not important to me at the moment. I can fix that. But the main thing is to get it sort of just in the vicinity, and then I can oh, there we go, sort of hang stuff around it, reorient the looms where they're supposed to go. What's that? I can't remember what that is. Dash loom, for example, with for the cluster. And there's some stuff that sits above this crash bar, and there's some stuff that sits below it. And there's little odds and ends which have to plug in here and there. The fuse box, I'll put that on now. If I can find my Phillips head, which is over here. And the good thing about Nissan and Toyota, a lot of their fasteners are just the same, regardless of where in the car it is. That is the main power feeds to the loom. I don't even know if you can see what I'm talking about. Right, well, everything's sort of in. Everything, all the wiring on that side's accounted for and connected. The clock and climate control spares that I've got, that I bought while I was at the records, as I said, I did a big bulk haul. These are the CD player, radio and all this sort of stuff, the antenna. There are two no connections under there, which I knew about, which is why I put tape on. There are a couple that I can't find. I've got to have another look, because there's these two, and there's behind the steering wheel, there's two big block connectors. I want to put a dash in, but I'm not doing anything until I figure these out. We've got the power mirrors and cruise, we've got everything hanging down here, there for the instruments there. I've just got to figure out what some of these other things do. This is the grotty one. I'll try this. Plug him up. We've got all the right connectors now, which makes me feel very relaxed. Although I do have to reroute some of the... I don't want to scratch anything. I need to reroute some of this because where most of it's reaching properly and I got them back in the original clip, some of it doesn't. So I've just got to fiddle and fart around with it a bit. Actually, I'm just going to come around here for now. It's going to be easier doing it this way. That's the CD. Where does that go? It goes the other way. So it's just learning and relearning, because I've done much of this stuff years ago, but as I said, you know, you forget, and then you go to do it again. It's like, what? So that's all connected. I'm just going to pop that there. That's upside down. I've got to go this way. It's all pretty messy, but we can sort that out. I just found out why there's a spare connector. I forgot to put this in. Thank goodness for that. I don't even know what it does. The other one is the connector for the Nissan console, and I think that's about it. I think we're good now. So we'll just put this in and we'll see how we go. Right, everything's sorted. That's ashtray and ashtray, illumination, cigarette lighter. I guess we just plug all this in and see where it gets us. That goes that way. So now is a good time to connect the battery. Do we have an interior light? Yep, we do. Do we have, oh, hazard flashes? Where the hell are those? I want to do things systematically and I can't think what I've done. Oh, there they are. That seems to be working. That works. Where's the switch? Oh, there. Horn. Yep. Lights. Oh, the beeper's working. I can't even see if the lights are working. Hang on a minute. I just figured out what that other connector is. It's the dimmer for the lights. Alright. Let's put a key in and cross our fingers. Let's try the right key. Airbag lights on. No head up. The clock's doing something. The climate control's working. What about the power windows? Power mirrors? Yep. Cruise control's working. Why don't we start it? Tack's working, but no bloody head-up display. That is a pain in the ass. That's not good. Well, I feel it's a bit of a failure, but it's not, if you know what I mean. One of the things I noticed before I pulled it apart, I lost the front channel and the stereo. It was when I took the instrument pinnacle out, but the dash was still in there, so there's something wrong there and it's still not come up on 3 different stereos. So, I've got to find that out. So it's just a matter now of, we'll put it back together. I need to do some homework on the head-up display. It could be to do with some of those, although I found that on the newer loom, that's a wiper amplifier. I'm assuming that, and that fits in there, so I'm assuming that's for a Series 2 with a rear wiper. No idea what that is. That wasn't connected though. So I need, if you know what the problem is, it could be ECU. Maybe the Triple S with the head-up uses a different ECU. It could be that. The only two ECUs I can get a hold of are from manual cars. It could be anything. It could be something wrong with them. I don't know. I need to find out. Do a bit of homework. But it was worthwhile doing. We'll clean up all in here. We'll make it look all nice. So I'm just going to pop the dash in now. I'm running out of time because I have to put this together. Then that blue one has to come apart there. And then the green one on the other side, if you look through there, has to be assembled as well. So I'm a bit more familiar with those cars than these ones. But it's something I'll need some help with to diagnose. We'll just do a bit of research on. Looking pretty good. It's going back together well, except for our rather lovely crack. There is one issue though. That was the boot. And that goes down in there. Oh no. So I've got to pull it out again. Right, well here it is here. And we've given it a nice wipe down, so it was worth taking the dash out again just to get that wipe down. Bluey troubles. Well, I got this one sorted out anyway. The front speakers weren't working on the stereo. And the amplifier has died. This, I reckon, is because it had a high power Sony unit feeding into it and I cranked it up. I didn't crank it up much, I just wanted to hear it. Like, with lots of bass. Well, anyway, what's happened is it's fried. And I don't know why. I'm assuming that's the reason. These are the little Toshiba TA8225H amplifiers. Each of those is 45 watts. So for an OE system, it's brilliant. When you look under the parcel tray on these things, you've got that one there. That's your front amplifier. And that's one I had that I've changed over. And there's your rear amplifier there. So Nissan have put 2 amps under the parcel tray. This is great, but I'm still having trouble with the head-up. There's your head-up display there. But I haven't bolted this in yet because I'm not going to bother. And I've also taken the chime off. That's the OE stereo. Big improvement in my book. Power antenna works. And oh, I've lost the channel, I didn't program it. Hang on, we'll just... The only problem I've got with it is your tweeters are both working. This speaker here is weak. If you stick a CD in, it's doing exactly what it should. It all illuminates and all that sort of stuff. And I'm wrapped. And the sound's brilliant. So very, very pleased. I've just got to sort out this, has it got a pause? So yeah, I've just got to sort out this wiring. I've now found a wiring diagram for the Ultima, whatever the Americans call them. And so I can check all the pinouts and I can do it all properly with the meter. But I'm tipping that that stuff's all going to be good. It's something in here or in the head-up display unit. So that's about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up that and put the quadrant thing back in because I wasn't going to bother with it because I know when I'm in park or drive or whatever. But I wanted to, hang on, I'll just eject that. I wanted to make sure that the overdrive light works. This is fixable. It's just a matter of diagnosing it. These little amplifiers are about $9 each, so that's 18 bucks. And by the time you get anything else that needs replacing or whatever, it ends up just cheaper to buy one from the wreckers for 30 bucks. Thermal grease has to go in there too. It uses this large heatsink. You can see what they were. But yeah, it's all good. just take these wheels off and have a bit of a look. I want to change them over anyway. These are a painted alloy. They'll come up a little bit, but I've got the Series 2 ones which looks the same, and they'll look a bit tidier in that they're the same pattern but they're plastic coated. So I'll take the tyres off and have a look. And the rattle gun wouldn't move them, and I had to put the car on the ground. I couldn't even chuck the wheel to undo them, and I had to stand, jump on that thing. They were as tight as your center nut on your drive shaft. It was ridiculous how tight they were. It's a wonder they didn't break studs. Anyway. This thing's making a squealing noise as you rotate the wheel, so I'm assuming the pads are down to the wear indicators. Yeah, big lip on that. There's a bubble in this tyre. These tyres, I will keep the rims and get rid of the tyres when I get new tyres for it. We're going to be up for, there's a big lip on the discs, but it'll give us a bit of a look in here as well at general stuff. But yeah, I don't want those. I'm not even going to check the thickness on them. They've got a huge lip, so I'll get rid of those. And the pads look low too. Yeah, those pads are stuffed. Is that the backing plate? Yeah, they're really worn down. Can we see down here? They'll be on the wear indicators. How easy it is to see. There's a whole build up of debris there that we need to get rid of. Hang on, I'm going through the tripod. It's a bit of a balancing act. And there's just one underneath, and that mud flap will come off. So we need to get that off and have a look, see what falls out. This is particularly bad with cars that live outside. I'm not watching what I'm doing. Don't use tools like this. It's ridiculous. And don't jack cars up like this. I've got it on stands, but barely. They're very low. Like it's just crudded. It's just so full of... Right, have a look at this. Ta-da. Look at that. We don't want to borrow that. So what I'm going to do is get rid of all that and check all this. That should clean up alright. The Fairlane was like this. That Fairlane I did, the budget luxury car for $1,000 or whatever it was. But that'll all come out, and I'm going to hose out the plenum as well, because that's just crap. That shouldn't be there. But you know what? This, as dirty as it is, this is a really, really, really good car. There's nothing wrong with it, really. The only thing wrong with it is the heads up doesn't work, and that's because I put it in. Alright, looking at this a little bit closer, we've got horrendous oil leak. The rest of it looks alright. That belt's knackered. You can see there, it's been drenched in oil. Oil everywhere. In fact, we've got this wire. What the hell? It looks like an earth cable which has been tied off. I don't know why. We've got another wire here that holds on a plastic guard underneath. So that can all come off. We'll secure that properly. All that will clean up beautifully. It's a matter of finding what the oil leak is first. It looks to me to be rocker cover or valve cover, whatever you want to call it. That would be the first port of call, because you can't really judge anything down there unless you, obviously with gravity, fix up what's up here. The other thing I've noticed is the oil pressure light doesn't seem to work. It didn't with the old dash and it doesn't with the other one. But around here, again, rocker cover under there. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see the screen because of the sun. But another thing which I wouldn't be surprised if it's gone is the distributor O-ring. I would start with the valve cover though. In fact, that would be the first thing I'd do anyway. In order to do that, there's a couple of other things too. It seems to leave a pool of coolant, and I don't know where it's coming from. I don't know if it's the cap or it's the actual radiator. I've got another radiator which I didn't think I'd need. So we just have to really sort of look at it now. Any hoses that are oil affected, well, that's rock hard. I'd be inclined to put a new hose on there. Change all the hoses. I'm not sure about the heater hoses, what they're like. They're probably alright. But really, this is more about cleaning up than anything else. When was this thing built? February 94. The other thing is, the oil is going to create havoc with the mounts in this thing don't feel good. It's actually a physically huge engine compared to the Starling. If you look at it, it's a litre bigger. We have to look at that top mount. When we get down here, it really does look quite ugly. All those belts will have to be done. But those control arm bushes, they're oil soaked. And there's actually drips of oil coming off things. I would be inclined to rebush those. The CV joint from where I am now doesn't look too bad. We only really can do something about that when it's on full lock. If it's not split, doesn't mean it's not roadworthy. The oil light isn't working. Whoa. And that will be the reason for that. The connector's stuffed, I think. That's the reason your oil light's not working. I can't even see it because... Can I plug that back in? I can't see from where I am. I'll have to get to that after. But, you know, there's lots of drips coming off stuff. So we'll cut that wire off and get that guard out, and it really does need a good clean. Now, I've got a tub, and I'm going to use a toothbrush and some reject chop degreaser and scrub it into the tub, and any water I'll let it evaporate off because I don't want any of this going on the driveway. It's going to create such a mess. The brake lines don't look bad, but then I'm not surprised because it's 94. Normally, you know, a few years older than that, you start seeing little perishing cracks and stuff. And the struts don't appear to be leaking, but the boot's fallen. That boot's had it. I don't think that's a roadworthy thing. I think it might be easy just to cut that off, but they're dry. That's the main thing. They're not allowed to weep. Sway bar bushes will need doing. The link bushes don't look too bad, although for what they cost I can put those in. And I reckon we take those control arms off and rebush those, and I reckon that'll probably do it. Them and the sway bars should do it for the bushes. Whether the ball joints are right, I'll have to check those. I haven't got much time at the moment, so I don't want to get carried away with that. Let's have a look under here. The struts, the thing I'm interested in. Yeah, that's fairly dry. That's good. That's excellent actually, because the struts are expensive. That's the back of the transmission. It's huge. And again, you know, we've got all this oil leak nonsense. That stabiliser bar busher is absolutely rooted there. You can see that. There's no way we're going to get away with that, and I wouldn't want to anyway. I think we'll change that out. But, you know, it's all horses for courses. It's pretty easy stuff. From what I've seen so far, it's really good. That's just normal wear and tear. Discs and pads, fine. Yeah, I don't mind. When you run this thing, you get a pool of coolant under it. I can't see anything under here. I haven't seen under here. You're the first to see this. The transmission cooler. I still don't like those in radiator transmission coolers. I much prefer the PWR ones. Everything looks pretty good though, I must say. It's bloody great. It's really, really good. Let's have a look above. Coolant seems to be running along here and then dripping out all over the place. I'm wondering if that cap's just rooted. I mean, if it's the wrong one, in fact. But we need to figure out what the coolant is. Normally when they leak out of the top tank, they get all sort of furry around there. And that looks clean. So I don't know. I need to look into that. Upside down. What are you doing? So, transmission fluid's good. It's not burnt, which is great, and it works beautifully. I mean, I like a manual. I would prefer a manual, but I'm not complaining about this being an automatic. Well, I've just taken the two bottom bolts out under the sill for the guard. There's that little one in there. We can get into it with a ring spanner from inside the car or inside the door, and then use a someone's got this off too. I'm just going to slacken it off with that, and then I can use a normal screwdriver to get it out, and then the bottom of the guard should flap around. That's what I want. Well, that's nice. I'll just undo that. That's perfect. We can probably just back it out like that actually. No, we'll take it out because it's me, right? It's just a self-tapper. Good. Excellent, I can get right in there now. Have a look at this. Can we see down there? So we'll clean all that out and put it back together. Just give him a good scrub. It can take a minute to do this, like it's not a big job, but it'll keep the thing in much better repair, and it's just all washing off, and you can see it looks lovely. There's a whole lot of the back there, you can see. People did this with their old Falcons, they would have lasted a lot better. I did it on the Corolla once, but you know, the more modern cars are dipped, so you don't get the problems with them. But even like all that years of just stuff there will just come off, and we can just use a light bit of cutter on a rag, although that looks like it's been painted around there. Alright, how does that look? Much better. There's no grot there at all. And from in there, that looks great. It's got that reddish coloured stain there, but that's nothing sinister. I don't know what that is. But yeah, it looks really, really good. I'm happy with that. Probably could have done a better job cleaning up there. Might just do underneath it a bit and she'll be right. These bolts that came out a little bit rusty. It's not a restoration, we're just cleaning this thing up, so just a spot of grease on there and we'll stick them back in. Same deal here. We've cleaned all up in this one. This had a ton of stuff in it. That looks like some sort of, it's overspray of some type. And that's what came out. Look at it, there's just loads of it. That was just out of the two guard sections. So it's heavy, it's full of moisture and it can't dry out. So, or it doesn't dry out for a long time, so it's really, really worth going to the extra trouble to get it out. These are Series 2 Bluey wheels. They're the same as the others. They're just plastic coated, so they're very easy to clean. Although they've been scratched. But only paid $30 a piece for them. So they will dress the car up nicely once it's washed and it's had a bit of bodywork done. I'll show you what I'm talking about with bodywork. I'm not actually going to do bodywork on the body as such, but I don't think I can get away with the bumpers. Well, I could probably get away with it, but I don't want to. I want to do them nicely because the rest of the car is just so good. I don't see the point in having a good car with crappy bumpers. Rosie's cleaning up a grill. I picked this grill up Series 2 one for $15 from the wreckers. I think someone was asking $150 on eBay, robbers. The rear, okay, the other side looked perfect. Those discs don't look that badly worn, although they are grooved up a bit. The pads are knackered. You can see there. But the rear struts are in great nick. No weeping, nothing. So all this looks good. So that looks a bit distorted, that sway bar bush, but most of the problem with this is in the front where the oil's been leaking. So I guess what it translates to is that, you know, something like a rock cover gasket can do a lot of damage. I prefer the Series 2 grill to the Series 1. And the reason for that is in the 90s we sort of had this Unos grill thing with small grills. All Falcons had them and all that sort of thing. Not loving this. I can see overspray. This thing's been clouded there too. But for the moment, I'm just going to take this out. Charlie, it's got to be careful, don't break this. The plastic's just so brittle. There's one left. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's the Series 1 grill. Rose, bring the other one over here, love. Actually, we'll just clean that bit up first. Just can I have that hose?
You don't get any boxes.
I think we're going to be taking this off. I'll show you what I mean. But I need to wash the car. But it's just so nice and original, you know. And it just cleans up so well. Look at that, you know. The whole engine bay will look like that. You just so don't need to do anything with it. But I'm ecstatic that I managed to get this car, because they weren't a huge seller when they were new, but I think I mentioned before, I thought they were a lot better than what the competition had to offer. Of course, there are those that, I don't think Raymakers would agree with that, but that's how I think. The bang for the buck you got with these things. They were powerful and they were full of options. And they've proven themselves, you know. We're into an old car now and, you know, it's still healthy. Rosie said she wasn't done, but I don't know, when Rosie's working you've got to enjoy it because it doesn't happen very often.
I think more work than...
I don't know if this will fit. It looks like it fits. I just think that's a nice lift for it, even though it's dirty where I've stuck my fat mitts on it. But that, to me, looks a lot nicer than it did before. But we'll keep the old one because it's the original one for the car. Awesome. We'll just give it a wash and I reckon that's going to look really good. I'm just heating up around here. I don't want to heat the glass up, there's tinting on it. There's a couple of scratches in the tinting at the front edge. But this was a genuine Nissan wind deflector and I didn't mind it. Wind deflectors are great on humid days where it's raining so you can prop the window down without getting wet. But this car's got a auto climate control and it looks shabby because of all that tape. I've got to remove all that. I've got rid of some of it. And then we'll just polish that area. But this stuff, I remember this Nissan. I remember putting these on these cars. And the double-sided tape's fantastic, you know. It releases easily, but it's stuck there for 20 plus years. So there's no complaint with the quality of these things. I'll just roll it off with our finger. These locks, it's missing the little hinge thing. We can just get some multis in here and just pull it out. There's just this horseshoe thing, and then that whole thing will come off. And we'll clean up around the surface where it was. I have a friend in the club, David, who's a locksmith, and he can look at this. He'll know how to do it. In the meantime, I've got this one, a Series 2 one. That's what I want this putting into. I'm just going to put it on. I'll just clean up around that hole first. Just wipe off the excess dirt. But it's all in good condition under there. Let's get a bit of, I'll get some cutters and just tidy it up a bit. And it's flawless. Except now I've got a shiny spot. But anyway, for the purpose of demonstration, it doesn't matter. I've just got to make sure I've got a key for one of these badges. I just want to make sure it's the right one, which it is. Just wipe off the back of the badge where the rubber is, and it's ready to go on. It's pretty simple. And that will just sit in there. Like that. Let's put the horseshoe clip back on. Of course, we can clean up all in there and it'll come up like new. Which key was it? Check that it works. We've got a remote boot release, and that looks fine. A couple of things before it starts raining I want to talk about. I am going to bodywork the bumpers and repaint them. Paint's crazed. It's obviously, it's got the dent, and also here. Same story at the front. But it looks really good. I haven't even attempted any of this business here. In some ways it's probably easier just to get a pair of bumpers. They're $40 each or something. The Series 2 wheels make a heck of a difference. These are the old wheels, and that bit there I scrubbed. So you would need to take them back, sand them back, and repaint. And I can't be bothered. So I'll put them into storage because they're the right wheels for the car. The worst of the new wheels is this one, and it's gravel rash. That was on the front of something else. So if I can find another one, I will. And I've also only got 2 of the Series 2 wheel covers or hubcaps, which are sort of like a brushed chrome look. But the car looks magnificent. I've taken the wind deflector off. It was a genuine Nissan one. I've still got it. There's still little bits of the old adhesive. Masking tape is hellish to get off. What's that? And yeah, masking tape isn't UV stable, so you put it on something, and it was all Celastic down here. You can still see a bit of it under there, which again I can remove, and I haven't. I'm just in a bit of a hurry. But the moment sun hits masking tape, game over. The gum in it sort of becomes far more adhesive, and it's hellish to get off. Big mark down the side's gone. I've just spruced over it very quickly in areas, not the whole car, with a buff to get rid of some of those sorts of marks. And the same, I haven't finished that yet. There we go. Yeah, so certain areas I've just cleaned up a bit. You know, obviously we'll take these lights out and polish them. They'll come up like new, and clean all the black. And we've got rid of the marks where the mud flaps were, though there's still one on the sill just down here. And we've cleaned out all the sill things. That's another one of the front wheels. When I used the buff, I was spraying water around and got a bit of that yuck sort of over spraying. I don't know what you call it. But these wheels, you know, $30 each. Why wouldn't you? Bonnet's perfect. The grille just looks so much better, I think. And of course the front bumper again, we've got a little bit on the guard. We can get rid of that. This green paint red's hit something. There's no point in trying to get rid of that because somebody's repainted this and it's flaky and like around the light. I'm not going to settle for that. If the car wasn't so clean, I just wouldn't worry. But the car's like mint condition, so I need to. It needs to be done. Same with here. We'll take these off and experiment. It looks like it's got house paint on it. And we're dented there. So that would have broken the light, and they put a new light in and left that bit, which is fair enough. But given the condition of the vehicle, you know, it has to, it's got the potential to look absolutely superb for virtually no money. When we do the bumpers, we'll do all the mud flaps. I tried to clean this one up. Is that the one I tried to clean? Yeah, it was this one. And I'm not putting those on. So they're structurally in great condition, but when we do the bumpers, we'll do the front and rear mud flaps. I've left the rear ones on, but I've just left those off, and we'll do them when we do the bumpers, which won't be quite yet because there's a bit more to do. I like these wheels. They're all shiny and nice. For this, I'm not going to use it. It's a genuine Nissan piece. There's the remnants of the tape. But I don't see the point in putting it on, just because the car has an auto climate control. The other thing I saw, which I sort of liked, the fact this car has a tow bar. I use the XD for all my towing, and that's also a genuine Nissan one. So, you know, we might paint it matte black or satin black or something, and put a new ball on, make it look all nice, and that's good protection for the rear bar as well. And we'll do some hammer and dolly work on that, or at least pull it out. The good thing is the proper exhaust is in there. Might be able to stretch it around from the inside. But yeah, delighted. We'll go through what it's cost so far. So let's do some sums. I paid $800 for the car, which I believe was a fantastic buy. Now, the boot badge was $15. I still have to get the lock recoated. The cluster was $35. The head-up display was $10. The grill was $17.50. The amplifier was $30. That I wasn't going to use in this car. I'll talk about that in a moment. The hi-fi, or the head unit if you like, was $10. The dash was $100, and the wheels were $120. So we've dropped $352.50 on it, which means the car now owes us $1,152.50, which I reckon is a steal. Work to do. We'll take the wipers off and paint them. You can see where the paint's worn through. We'll put new wiper blades in, full set of belts and hoses. We've already got new plugs in it. We'll put new tyres on it, new discs and pads all round. I might get away with the back ones, but I don't like using the term get away with it because I don't really want to get away with anything. I just want it to be really, really good. The biggest headache so far that I can see happening is we call them K-frames on the Falcon, the frame under the engine and transmission that's bolted to the body. I think the mounts for that are compromised because of all the oil leaks. It'll need a rock cover gasket. Bottom line, we're going to be dropping another $1,000 on it, somewhere around there. The windscreen's great, doesn't need a screen. It doesn't need any struts, they're all good. It doesn't need anything on the exhaust. It's just an absolutely fabulous car. So look, I really hope you've enjoyed this. I've had a lot of fun with it. It's time now to, hang on. I hate seeing oil polish residue. It's time to put this to the side. We have to get into the starlets. The blue one has to have the engine removed and suspension components and all sorts of stuff and be sent back to Toyota. So, with that being said, I do hope you've enjoyed this. Have a lovely day, enjoy Classic, and I'll see you soon. Even the window tint's in good condition. Forgot to mention, I still have to sort this out. So I've got some resources I can go to, but you know, it's a damn good car, and I will find another bit of that where I broke it, but I'm wrapped. There's a Triple S advertised, and it has obviously the Triple S interior and head up and all this, but it's got a sunroof, and in Australia they never came with sunroofs, so it must have been put in later. But that's the thing I like about this. Nissan genuine parts. I can't tell you how happy I am with this. Is it obvious? Harvey was right. Harvey's the instrument builder that he's done some work for me and done beautiful work on the Suzuki instrumentation on the bike. The MG's tack, I haven't got those back yet, and the Sigma's dash. And he mentioned this afterthought thing, and I agree. It looks terrible. If I could, I'd French it and just get rid of all this, so it all looks like it's moulded. But I wonder if, although an English number plate would fit in there, I thought maybe some markets have different size plates and they have different size inserts to fit in, but that's the only design cue on the car that I really think kind of sucks. I'm going to get rid of that. Sweet. Very, very awesome. What do you reckon? Shit.